Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Steel Studio Podcast with Mike and Rick Mooney.
Hello.
How was your week so far?
It was good. Beautiful fall weather. A little weird this weekend, not having football forced upon us. You know, kind of pissed about it, but kind of like have an attitude of maybe this was good after no preseason, play a few weeks, rest up. I'm hoping that's the case. And
Heal quickly.
Yeah, and we're in pretty good shape, and then we can kick some ass now and get a little revenge for this.
It's hard to be optimistic that we have 13 games now without a break.
You know, and it felt like a loss. It feels like we lost. We didn't even play, but
Yeah.
it's just frustrating. Why does it always happen to the Steelers? It feels that way. I mean, is it because Rooney's are too nice, or what is it? I don't know. We always do the right thing. That's why we love this team, but it's a curse, too.
It is. Did you see the NFL is going to change the rules with COVID now, too? They're going to count as a forfeiture.
I didn't see that. I looked for that.
It was on ESPN.
Oh, well, you know it's true.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. I guess anymore. ESPN just posts all kinds of bullshit. Yeah, I agree with you. It did kind of feel like a loss. I just kind of feel down about football at the moment just because I'm annoyed about it.
Yeah, it was annoying.
We were prepping up for a good battle.
And here's my thing. How come Tennessee is the only team, besides Cam Newton, and you know, and he's a playboy, so he's out all the time, that tested positive? Either this is really contagious once it's around people, or their testing screwed up. I don't want to really sit here and talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, no Vikings got it. Nobody else got it. Just this one team got it. To me, that's odd.
Red flags.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully it won't happen again like baseball and it goes away and we can keep on playing, man. We're still undefeated.
Yeah, it's true. And, I mean, we are moving up in the rankings. You know, one list had us 5th, one had us 7th. So
Screw their rankings.
it doesn't mean much right now, but at least we're not 16th like we were before.
Right, yeah, that's a little crazy. Yeah, did you see TJ Watt on the cover of Sports Illustrated? Hopefully it's not a curse. Since I said it now, it's not a curse.
Yeah.
He looks good, cool, man. Though. He's a stud. It says, all about the ball, how to force a turnover, the best NFL's best strip sacker. You know, and I have the Troy Polamalu Sports Illustrated still, so I'm going to keep this. Awesome. And then also, we got our copy of the NFL in 1970s from Joe Zagorski. And he wrote this book, and he's going to be on our podcast. I have to read this book. 400 pages.
It's cool, though.
And he did sign it. He says, Rick Mooney, best wishes, Joe Zagorski. So it's pretty cool. It's the 1970s, the best, most important decade in football. And I think it did make the NFL. So if you get a chance to pick this up, thanks, Joe.
Yeah, and, Joe, we're going to have him on the podcast.
We'll have him on, and it'll be interesting. Edition. Maybe we can get Rocky on, too, someday. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be great.
But, yeah, that was just got that today.
Thank you,
Joe.
Joe.
Excited. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, we look forward to talking to him and hearing from him in the future. I think that's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah.
But, you know, rest of the NFL, the Packers look great. I think you and I talked about that. You know, I didn't think Chiefs looked that great last night.
Everybody just praised the Chiefs a lot, but I'm not the biggest.
Mahomes just to me he runs like a little girl or something. I don't know if he's like he's running to the bathroom. He has to pee. I don't know, man. The dude. Well, I mean, he's good.
Everyone's comparing them to the Patriots of the past. You know, they beat the Patriots, and people are like, "Oh, they beat the Patriots," but it doesn't mean it anymore.
No.
You know,
especially with Cam Newton.
15 opt-outs or whatever it is in the Patriots, and you've got Cam Newton as a starting
Their
quarterback.
defense is decent.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not what it could have been. But
no.
I just don't see that as a big comparison. You know, if they went and they beat the Seahawks and they beat the Packers, and I mean, they already beat the Ravens. You know, you beat those 3 teams.
Yeah.
Say, okay, you're
They're good.
One. They're good.
They're going to be the team we're probably going to have to beat. But I think our pass rush, if we stay healthy, we can get to them.
I think so too. That's one thing that just nobody can stop right now. It doesn't seem like O-lines are healthy.
We're not getting the credit we deserve.
I agree. We just need a game where we put up a lot of points and win by, you know, a couple scores.
Seattle looks good. They score 30 points a game, but they barely win. It's weird.
It's true.
I don't understand it.
They're
a really good team. Russell Wilson's a good player and good
they find a way to win.
You know, I don't know. How about Dallas? How are they looking right now? They should be 0-4.
My prediction was right, as much as I hate to say it. I predicted last week the Browns would win. That was my
Did
upset.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Tyler was asking me about that, and I told him you picked Dallas. I thought we both did.
No, that was my upset pick, and you were surprised, and you said, no, there's going to be a different one.
I can't remember last. It seems like last week's podcast
like
was a month ago.
Yeah.
Because of everything that's happened.
Yep.
But yeah, that's I don't know who else looked good. But Ravens, I think they played the Washington football team, and they're terrible. They have no offense.
I think the Bills look great.
The Bills actually are undefeated, man. That's.
You know what? Kudos to them. I just don't think that they can maintain that.
That's like a hooker walking in a nursing home right there. They're going to look good.
Woo!
But anyway, we're not big Bills fans. But Josh Allen is putting up some big numbers.
He doesn't deserve to be in the MVP conversation. You're 4 games in for them. Their first 2 games were against the Jets and the Dolphins. Let's just pump the brakes here a little bit. You played John Gruden's Raiders, which aren't bad. They're just not the greatest team either.
John Gruden, maskless John Gruden. He refuses to wear that mask.
Every time we bring up Corona, not just us, but anything, like anybody brings up coronavirus, my eyes just kind of glaze over. I'm like,
I know. And that's why I think that a lot of people were turned off with football last week.
As soon as that came up.
The last thing you want to see is that in this, too.
Yeah, they said their ratings were at the lowest of the season so far. Because as soon as it came up, people said, enough. It's too much.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it anymore.
So
we'll supposed to be an escape from that. We're not drinking Coronas either. So.
Hell yes. So Eagles are coming up this week.
Yeah, they're a banged up team, from what I understand. We should feast on them.
You know that entire division only has 3 combined wins.
Wow.
They are 3-12-1.
I always liked Carson Wentz. I don't know why. I mean, he started out great as a rookie.
Well, I think that's one of those rookie magic things where people kind of don't know his scheme yet. But he's had coaching turnover. He's had scheme changes. You know, it's just hard.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Sanders as a big-time back. He gets hurt all the time. He's just an average.
And Wentz is their second leading rusher right behind him. He's got 19 rushes.
Yeah, he does a lot of that read option stuff, which scares me. We have the speed, though. We should be able to.
And if we can contain on the outside, which we
have so
outside
far.
backers are great, then we should be fine.
We should be. Their D-line scares me a little bit. They have a little bit of a pass rush, but we'll talk to Chad about that. You want to go to Chad now and come back?
Sure, yeah. Here's our conversation with Chad.
All right.
All right, we are back another week with Chad Schmock to talk Eagles. Chad, kind of want to get your thoughts. Where are the Eagles at as a team right now? They seem kind of all over the place.
All over the place is very accurate. So they're 1-2-1. They actually are sitting in first place right now, believe it or not. But they are a very, very injured football team. They're dealing with a lot. But I think, when they start to get players back, they could also be fairly dangerous as well.
So some of those injuries in particular, what are we looking at with those?
So wide receiving core specifically is decimated. Deshaun Jackson has a hamstring. Alshon Jeffrey has a foot injury. Jalen Reagor, their first-round pick, has a thumb injury. He's actually on IR. He for sure won't play. Dallas Goedert, one of their really good tight ends, has a fracture in his left ankle. He's out for sure. There's some question on whether Deshaun Jackson's going to play with the hamstring. There's some question on whether Alshon Jeffrey's going to play. Jason Peters stepped over to play left tackle for him. He's now out with a foot injury. There's serious question on whether he will play. And their original starter, Andre Dillard, their original left tackle starter, he's done for the year with a torn bicep. So a lot of injuries on their front. Their number one receiver right now is actually kid by the name of Greg Ward, who's best known for being the Houston Cougars quarterback in college, turned into a wide receiver, and he's their number one wide receiver right now, if that tells you kind of the state of where they're at offensively.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad, this is Rick. How you doing?
Doing great. How about you, Rick?
Good. Hey, Carson Wentz, what kind of quarterback is he? Is he a running quarterback? Is he a pocket passer? And do we need have a spy on him for his running ability?
I don't think so. Wentz is more of just a drop back passer. I see him more as regressing. This year, he really kind of struggled. He's got 4 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. His decision making is a little bit questionable. He throws a pretty decent deep ball, but the question is out there for him on, is there anybody to catch that potential deep ball right now? But I would not want to be him on Sunday. I think he's going to get beat up quite a bit. Not really all that fleet of foot and questionable at best offensive line. So Steelers defense should have a field day with that.
Yeah, and then they're of course their offensive line a little bit of trouble. You think Driscoll, he'll be probably starting at left tackle. You think he'll be able to handle T.J. Watt?
Not sure. I'm not sure anybody. can really handle T.J. Watt at this point. There's actually some talk of one of their 7th-round picks, Jordan Mailata, stepping into that left tackle role for this week. Australian-born player, so there's a possibility he could be there. I'm not sure that the 7th rounder, that's a great idea, but they'll have to give him some help either with a tight end or chipping him with a running back or something to try to buy Carson some time.
Is Sanders, is he a big-time running back, and what kind of back is he, and what kind of run scheme do they run over there?
So they run a hybrid between the power and the zone. Zone blocking is a little bit more prevalent. There's a big push from Eagles fans because they just do so much better out of the zone running scheme, but they've kind of been hesitant to go to that full time. Miles Sanders is shifty. He's not going to really be that downhill James Conner type run between the tackles, but they get him outside really quick. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He does some nice things, but I mean, I don't know that he's going to be your Derrick Henry type, bell cow, hand him the ball 40 times. That's just not it's not the type of back that he is.
Yeah, Chad, I got a question. I just want to get your opinion on this. If Wentz doesn't really succeed this week, is it kind of time for Jalen Hurts to step in, or is that way too early?
I love Jalen Hurts. Being an Alabama fan, I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan, but he's just not ready to play quarterback in the NFL. They have some sub packages for him where, he does some options, some running, but as far as reading an NFL defense, really dropping back and having to do it, I don't think this is a year for him. I think he needs that redshirt year, and then maybe next year start to look at that a little bit for him.
Fair enough. If we switch over to the defense briefly, the defensive line looks like the strength of the team, and it seems like Brandon Graham he's a beast. Would you agree with that? And also, I want to get your opinion on Javon Hargrave, the former Steeler.
I think Javon Hargrave he's interesting for me. He's trying to kind of take a step forward and really develop into a potential star. Graham is absolutely a beast. I completely agree with you there. And then Derek Barnett is another defensive end that they drafted a few years ago, is really trying to kind of take that next step. So defensive line for them is absolutely 100% the strength of that team.
How are the linebackers and the secondary? To me, I think that we should be able to pass on them, and I'm not sure their linebackers. One of their linebackers, he looked lost to me last week. I can't remember which one it was, but what do you think of their linebacking and secondary?
So I think there's injury concerns there. T.J. Edwards was a starter back there for them. He's iffy at best with a hamstring injury. They did have a kid named Alex Singleton step in who had a pick 6 in that game, but he kind of really was lost too. So they're younger. They're dealing with some injury concerns, so you can definitely throw on them. Losing Malcolm Jenkins back there hurts them a lot. They don't have kind of the captain of that secondary, so that's a concern. I definitely think you can pick them apart. They brought over Will Parks to kind of be the leader of that secondary, and he's also dealing with a hamstring injury, so again, iffy to see if he's going to play. It's a lot of patchwork stuff back there for them. Then Vinny Curry, who's kind of a hybrid defensive end linebacker. There's talk that he could come off the IR this week, but it's looking a little bit doubtful there. So a lot of patchwork, just trying to make things work while they try to get some people healthy.
Do you think a lot of these injuries have to do with no preseason, no camp, real camp, and no preseason?
I think so. I mean, you just your body's used to hitting, and then you don't hit at all for almost a year, and then you come out and now your body's taking a beating, and the recovery's just different. I think you see a lot of those vet days in camp to kind of rest and get used to that, and they didn't have that this year, and I think it's showing all across the NFL.
So how do you think the Steelers match up with the Eagles, and can you give us a prediction?
Yeah, I think Steelers definitely the better team, probably 10 to 17 points, but I think it could be the ultimate trap game for them as well, going into now potentially a big game with the Cleveland Browns next week. Who would thought we'd have said that, but I look for tight end play for the Steelers to be prevalent. They really struggle against the tight end. George Kittle had 183 yards against them, and then Tyler Higbee had 3 touchdown catches against them. So I think Steelers tight ends are going to feast, and then, Ben and Juju are going to have a big day as well, and you should also be able to run on them. So I think the Steelers play well and they're focused. It should be a pretty comfortable win for them.
Let's hope so. So in terms of the NFL, Chad, who really has been standing out to you?
I think Kansas City Chiefs until they take a step back. I think that's the number one team for me. The Ravens, I think, aside from that Chiefs game, have looked very, very solid. So I think that's another team that potentially could be right there. But those are the top 2, at least in my mind.
What quarterbacks have stood out to you, Chad? And what do you think? I know we bash Josh Allen all the time. Is he the real deal? I mean, the guy keeps putting up big numbers.
Puts up big numbers. I hesitate to say that I believe in Josh Allen can throw the ball in a tight window when the game actually matters. Put him in the playoffs. Is he going to be accurate? I don't know the answer to that question. Seems like a great kid. I hope he proves me wrong. I still believe Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson are probably the class of the NFL when it comes to quarterbacks.
What did you think of the San Diego rookie? He looked pretty good, huh? 61 yards in the air on that one pass.
Justin Herbert, he surprised me a little bit. He had a lot of accuracy concerns come out of Oregon, but I mean, so far in San Diego, it's a short sample size, but he's been fairly accurate with the ball, and he's done some really good things. That was the quarterback for me that I really had questions on if he was going to succeed, and so far he's been spectacular.
Well, awesome. Thanks for your time, and we will talk to you next week and get ready for the Browns.
Thanks, guys. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Chad.
No problem.
All right, we're back from our conversation with Chad.
Thanks, Chad. It's so awesome to have you on.
Absolutely.
He knows his stuff. And like he reiterated what we were saying about the injuries and their D-line being the strength of the team. They run a zone and combination power zone rushing scheme.
Yep.
Which we've struggled with in the past, but I think this year we didn't. It doesn't matter. We're just dominating. And I don't think Hargrave's done anything there this year. I don't even know if he's played every week, but
he's playing every week. He's just not playing a lot of downs. And how can he? He's just such a big dude. He's winded,
that's true.
you know?
They're paying him way more than they should be to play
right.
quarter of the time.
Right.
But, we'll see what happens. And they do have a good D-line. We may not be able to run on them, but we can throw screens, get over past them, and I think we'll be fine.
It's just hard to say that to say that the Eagles could win with the possibility of how much lack of receiver depth they have. If they could pass the ball over us, they stand a chance because other people have been. But they won't be able to run the ball on us.
What do you think about, though, the time off now? You know how we always play crappy after a bye week?
Yeah, but I'm feeling good about this week. I'm feeling like we're going to snap a record. I think we're going to score a touchdown on our opening drive.
That'd be
Holy
great.
shit, it's been almost 2 years. It's been more than...
Let's keep the no turnovers and let's get 7 sacks. 10 sacks. What the hell?
I need it.
Imagine if we had 25 sacks after 4 weeks already.
Well, I mean, technically this is week 5, so now we're already behind the ball. Thanks.
No, that's just ignore that.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
But I have an MVP for this game coming up.
Who's your MVP?
My MVP is going to be Minkah Fitzpatrick. Here's a signed ball by Minkah.
I hope so. Pick 6, baby.
And I think it's time he's going to step up. He's played a little. I don't know if he's been out of position or just they haven't gone his way, but I think in big games coming up, Minkah's going to be a big factor.
It's hard when you become such a good dominant force in the secondary because people know you're there then they're not going to throw it toward your way.
Unless you're Troy.
Troy just found a way. The guy was an animal.
Around the ball.
He was an animal.
Man, I miss him.
I do too.
But Minkah can beat Troy. He's probably not as athletic.
He's still young.
Yeah, that's true.
Got a long career.
Maybe we expected too much, but
he came in and kicked ass last year. Maybe people weren't prepared for him. I don't know. Hopefully he.
But I think he's going to have a big game. He's going to have a pick or 2 in this game.
2 picks?
We'll see if I'm right.
Holy
yes,
shit.
2 picks.
I hope so. He's a hell of a guy to have on your team, so I hope so.
And hopefully we won't have any injuries because we have the schedule now, thanks to the change of schedule. We have the Eagles, the Browns, Titans, and Ravens. And that's not as easy as it was when you had the Titans, then the Eagles.
And now, due to this, the Ravens are going to play us coming off of their bye week.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna be hard.
Let's just hope that, especially after playing the Titans. And they'll be healthier than they were probably.
Yeah.
So it's really bad luck's what it is. And
with this season with COVID though, I mean anything, especially as we get, not to say it, I don't want to get political, but as we get closer to the election, anything's going to change, you know what I mean? And there could just be another week that's thrown into limbo, and then they move us and they move somebody else and this and that.
Yeah, if that happens, people are going to really be turned off, man.
I think so.
This whole thing.
This was. I'm hoping the week that it's the one and done, and they're like, okay, it's out of the system, messed up tests or whatever, it's gone.
I'm tired of talking about it, man, but we have to talk about it because
it came up. Yeah,
it's a reality of. Luckily, no one on the Steelers tested. I wouldn't want to play a team that had 7 positives or whatever it was. I mean, even if you don't believe it or you do believe it, it's still scary.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have your people get it just for
exactly.
a game,
So anyway, that's there's really not much to say of the Eagles. It's
statistically.
Chad pretty much covered it. We should be able to dominate again.
They use their tight. I know Chad mentioned that we could use our tight ends all over them, but their tight ends are their number 2 and number 3 leading receivers. They could use those.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Dallas Goedert played this week, did he? He didn't mention him being hurt, so he must be back. Those two are dangerous.
They are, and we aren't great against tight ends.
Zach's on my fantasy. Do I play him this week? I'm not playing. I can't root for the guy.
That's hard. Yeah, I mean, nothing stands out for their offense. Nothing stands out for their defense except for the D line. So
right. We have struggled with them in the past, though.
It's true.
We have, yeah.
It's a home game for us, though, and we're allowing some fans.
Yeah, 5,500 fans. It was announced today.
Yeah,
it's
better than none.
Better than none.
Not great still.
I don't understand why they don't let 15,000, 20,000.
They submitted the proposal to Wolf for 12,000, and Wolf came back and said 7,500 total people can be in the stadium, which leaves only 5,500 fans. So.
Too bad, Watts. You're a week late. The Watt family.
Suck.
So you want to do our picks?
Let's do our picks, yeah. I got them here. We've got the first one, Thursday night, Buccaneers, who are 3-1, at the Bears, who are 3-1.
Buccaneers look good, man. I hate to say it, but...
They look good. They're not running the ball very well.
No, they're not.
It's just Tom Brady's just passing everywhere.
That's true.
Again.
They threw a lot of bombs the last game. I'm still going to take the Buccaneers 27-24.
They are the favorites, but I'm going to take the Buccaneers as well. Bears are home, but the Bears suck. And Mitchie, sorry, folks. I know I say it every week. Mitchie doesn't cut it. I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I'm going to say 31-17.
Who doesn't cut it?
17. Mitchie T.
He's not
Mitch
quarterback, and Foles is.
He still doesn't cut it. I know he won a Super Bowl, but it's not enough to beat the Buccaneers.
Nope, 1 year wonder.
Panthers 2-2 at Falcons, who are winless.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm going with the Falcons. Are you?
No, I'm going to take Carolina. 16-10.
Screw the Falcons. They're going to lose them all. They're the Falcons are the favorites.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Jones is out, though. Julio Jones.
That gives an opportunity. I don't know. I'm going to go for the Falcons. I keep picking them, and they keep almost having wins, so I'm going to say that they're going to win.
Yeah.
Barely 17-16. The Bills at the Titans, if the game happens.
No, it's going to happen, I think. I'm picking the Titans 17-16.
This is a good test. This is actually
tells
if either of these teams is actually good.
They could be pretty even too.
That's true. I'm gonna pick the Titans as well. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 27-24. They're gonna win yet again with another field goal. Raiders at Chiefs.
You gotta take the Chiefs. Boy, they have every game home for them, or what?
It feels like it.
They only have one road game, I think. But I'll take them 27-17.
They're 13-point favorites. I got to take the Chiefs as well. I'm going to say it's going to be 35-24. Cardinals at Jets. Jets are winless.
Take the Cardinals 27-21.
I'm going to take the Cardinals as well. I'm going to say 35-7.
Wow.
I don't think the Cardinals are as good as that 35. I just think the Jets are terrible.
They are bad. What a bad franchise.
Rams at Washington. Washington obviously playing for the division here.
Take the Rams. But every time I say that, they blow it, just like they did against the Bills. But I'll take the Rams 30-20.
They almost won that game. I'm going to pick the Rams as well. I'm going to say 31-16. Bengals at Ravens.
Jeez. You know what? I'm brewing an upset here.
I hope so.
They beat them there before, and I like Burrow. I think the Bengals are going to upset them 20-19.
Could you imagine?
That'd be great.
You should make a bet on that because the Ravens are 13-point favorites, so you would pay out pretty well.
Maybe I will.
I'm going to pick the Ravens because I'm not insane. 28-20. Jags, who are 1-3 at the Texans, 0-4. Another not great division. Looks like Colts are taking it.
I'm taking the Texans. They can't be 0-5. Maybe now they hated their coach that much.
They don't have a coach or a GM at the moment.
They don't need a GM right now. 24-16.
You know, if he was still there, I would pick them because I think they could turn around and be an 8-8.
Deshaun Watson's better than this, dude.
I agree. Not a very
Jacksonville's so.
They're beat up. They have no defense. You're right. I'm going to take the Texans as well, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 21-20. Another boring game. Dolphins at 49ers. Who's going to watch that? Like 10 fans.
Man, 49ers, quack. They stink. They were so good and so cocky.
They're
I'm still going to take
ranked
them.
highly in the power ranking.
Well, that's shit, but I'll take them 17-13.
So this is my upset so far. The 49ers are 2-0 on the road and 0-2 at home. And they're at home. And I think the Dolphins are due, and so I'm going to pick the Dolphins. I'm going to say it's going to be 31-28.
Wow.
Just watch it happen. I picked the one last week, too.
Bengals, baby. Joe Burrow.
This is one that we both said we wanted to watch to see if these teams are any good. Colts at Browns. Colts are 1.5-point favorites.
Browns. No Nick Chubb. I don't think Hunt's Nick Chubb. Chubb's the best player on that team, in my opinion.
Agree.
Browns are playing well, though. I do like their coach, but I think the Colts' defense is going to be a little bit tougher than Dallas's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But their offense isn't great. But I think they'll win. The Colts will win 27-24.
I'm going to pick the Colts as well, and I think it's going to be a close one. I also think it's going to be 27, but I think it's going to be 27-26.
Wow. That'd be late field goal.
No, I think that it'll just kind of fizzle. I think the Browns will, end with the ball and not get lucky and throw a 50-yard bomb this week because Dallas' defense isn't great.
Going to get a 20-yard loss into a touchdown. But he did make the play, so.
It's just
he always plays well.
But that doesn't happen against a number one defense.
No, and I don't know if they're truly number one defense. We're number one defense.
In our opinion, I think we really are. We just haven't.
But they're good defense. They're a little surprising, but they're good.
That stuff doesn't happen against a defense that knows not to let that happen.
They should be able to stop their run, and Baker has to force Baker to beat him.
And that's when he messes up.
And I'm not sold on the Browns defense at all. So at this point.
No. Moving forward, another NFC East game. 0-4 Giants at the Cowboys, who are 1-3. Cowboys have to turn around. I'm picking them.
Yeah.
31-10.
I'll also go. And poor Giants.
I know.
27-17. A little closer.
I feel like
Dallas
for the Giants, the wrong move was getting Jason Garrett for offensive coordinator.
Oh, I never thought of that. He might know Dallas' defense. Surprising.
He could, but it's just
They're
Dallas is
a
better team than the Giants. I do think the Giants are due for a
Dallas'
win
defense is pretty crappy. It'll be interesting, but we both picked Dallas.
That's what it is. Yeah. Broncos at Patriots.
I think Cam Newton will be back. I'm gonna take. Boy, these teams are crappy.
Looks like Jeff Driscoll's gonna be a starter again.
Oh Lord, he only did well against us. I'll take New England 23-10.
I'm going to take New England as well, and I'm going to say it's going to be 27-21. Vikings at Seahawks. Vikings shouldn't even have a win.
No. I'll take the Seahawks. They're going to win big this time. 36-10.
Yeah, this isn't a very exciting week. These matchups kind of suck.
Yeah. This was the week to take off.
Yeah. I mean, I think that just that Bills-Titans game and our game, that's all I want to see.
Our game's not, yeah.
But Vikings, I'm going to pick the Seahawks as well, and I'm going to pick them to 38 to, I don't know, 19.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, no. Chargers at Saints is our Monday night game.
Wow.
I'm going to pick the Chargers.
I think I am too.
Yeah. Their
The
defense
Saints
isn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah. And the Saints defense isn't as good as I thought. So,
Yeah.
27-26.
I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be 17-14.
Wow.
So I'm going to say let's go to our game. It's Eagles are coming into town. We're 7-point favorites.
Wow.
What are your thoughts?
I'm a little nervous about the time off.
Yeah.
But
It's
we're
barely any time off.
We're rested.
We're fresh.
That's true, too. Maybe the non-bye week will help us.
Non-bye-bye.
And I think we're going to 35-10.
Whew.
Blowout.
I hope so, man. We need that. We're
Yeah,
due.
we do.
That proves something.
I'm sick of the talk that we're no good and we beat nobody and all that.
I am too. We got special approval for our bye week this past week to only have 3 days off instead of the standard 4 that the player agreement dictates.
Really?
Yeah, and so we weren't the players.
Bend over and take it special.
Yeah. Well, I think that actually could come back to help us.
It could. And by the way, our injury report just came out today. Everybody could be back. Watt could be back. Deontay's back.
Yeah, Watt's running.
And I think we're going to be fully healthy. We're probably the only team in the league that's fully healthy.
I hope so. That is good.
Yeah.
That means we were ready for this year.
We were hitting in camp.
Yeah.
A lot of people weren't.
A lot of people weren't. I'm going to pick us as well. I don't think it's going to be a heart attack of a game, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a 2-score game. I'm going to say 28-17.
All right. Well, I hope we're right.
I hope so.
We better be. So it's
we need this.
It was a downer week, man. If we sound down, we're not. It was just a downer week. So, but hey, man, that's all we got, and we'll see you next time. And go Steelers.
Don't forget to like, comment,
Oh, yes,
subscribe,
please,
email us, whatever platform you're listening on. We check them all now.
YouTube, please subscribe and like.
Yep. We appreciate all the support.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. It's been great. Wow. And go Steelers.
Go Steelers. See you next week.